very much. You may be seated.
A very good afternoon to you all. You're welcome to the network service of the NTA, the Nigerian Television Authority. This is a live broadcast, the end of year conference by the Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation holding in Abuja, the nation's capital, precisely at the National Press Center Radio House.
Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Mohammed Idris, Fellow, Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. This press conference, like you already know, is to you on developments with the system. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have the Honorable Minister on the high table here, the Special Director, Mr. President, Information and Strategy, Mr. Bayo Honor. I welcome you, sir. Thank you very much. Also with us is the Secretary, Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation, Dr. Onwudiwe, Permanent Secretary. I welcome you. Also with the Minister on the high table, we have some of the executives and deans, some parastatals and agencies under the ministry. We have with us the Director General and Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Television Authority. I'm talking of Malam Salihu Amit Dembo. Welcome you, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, please. Also with us, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have the Director General, Voice of Nigeria, Mr. Jibrin Baba Indachi. I welcome you. Thank you very much. Also with us, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, is the Director General, Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, Dr. Mohammed Bulama. I welcome you, sir. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we also have with us the Director General, National Broadcasting Commission, Mr. Charles Epebu. I welcome you. Thank you for coming. Also with us, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have the Executive Secretary and Chief Executive Officer, Nigerian Press Council, Mr. Dili Ezuga. I welcome you. With the permission of the Honorable Minister, I would like to recognize the presence of some of our directors in the ministry that are seated here. We want to thank you so much for coming. I welcome the special aides to the Honorable Minister. We have the Special Assistant to the Honorable Minister with us, Mr. Rabi Ibrahim. I welcome you. Thank you for coming. I want to specially welcome the editors, bureau chiefs, and all the gentlemen of the media that are seated here today. Thank you very much for honoring our invitation. Thank you so much. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before I go straight to business, it is very important I just give this information. I know the Honorable Minister may likely want to entertain one or two questions after his address. Please, when we get to the question and answer section, and you are recognized to speak, you tell us your name, the media organization you're representing. And please, we appreciate if you restrict questions or your comments to the issues to be addressed by the Honorable Minister in his presentation. And finally, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press, we would like you to be decent enough in the use of language. I want to thank you very much for your readiness to cooperate with us. Having said this, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we know the media, apart from information, education, and their entertainment function, they also set agenda on matters of public interest. That is why the role of the media is very important at this critical time. Having said this, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to respectfully invite the Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Mohammed Idris, Fellow Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, to please address the media. Honorable Minister, sir, you may come to the podium, sir. Yeah.
Thank you, the MC, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Information and National Orientation, the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Mr. Bayo Nanuga, Director General, Nigerian Press Council, Director General MBC, Director General FRCN, Director General Voice of Nigeria, Director General NTA, all directors of the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation, distinguished colleagues, my friends in the media, thank you for honoring our invitation, a forum that we intend to use to, again, tell you about some of those activities that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his administration have been carrying out since his inception. This, of course, is the last press conference we'll be having for the year. We thank you, all members of Nigerian media and foreign media, for the cooperation that this administration has enjoyed thus far. In the spirit of transparency in the management of public information, we have said that over and over again that we'll continue to provide Nigerians and the international community information as honestly and as timely and as transparently as possible. We also in turn request the media to also treat information at their disposal responsibly, as they have been doing, and honestly as well. Now, my address. Let me welcome all of you to the 2023 End of the Year World Press Conference. It is with immense pride and gratitude that I present an overview of the achievements of the President Tinubu administration across key sectors since assumption of office on May 29, 2023. As the Minister of Information and National Orientation, it is both an honor and a responsibility to communicate the silent strides made under the visionary leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. The Renewed Hope Agenda is a central governing agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration, anchored on 8 priority objectives that will help build a more just and equitable Nigeria. We all know that you are aware of those 8 points, but we will, for issues of emphasis, tell Nigerians once more. Number 1 is the reform of the economy to deliver sustained, inclusive growth. Number 2, strengthen national security for peace and prosperity. Number 3, boost agriculture to achieve food security. Number 4, unlock energy and natural resources for sustainable growth. Number 5, enhance infrastructure and transportation as enablers of development. Number 6, focus on education, health, social investment, and essential pillars of development. Number 7, accelerate diversification through industrialization, digitization, creative arts, manufacturing, and innovation. And number 8, improve governance of all for effective service delivery. These are the 8 priority areas that Mr. President has unveiled. The 2023 supplementary budget of 2.176 trillion and the 2024 budget of 27.5 trillion, the administration's first full-year budget presented to the National Assembly by the President, both echoed the core tenets of the Renewed Hope Agenda and serve as pivotal steps towards realizing the ambitious and the transformative objectives of the Renewed Hope Agenda. The economy. Recall that the president made a bold and strategic move immediately after his swearing in with the removal of fuel subsidy. This decision, born out of a commitment to fiscal responsibility and a keen eye on national progress, is a testament to our administration's dedication to effective resource allocation and blocking avenues or taking difficult decisions in the interest of the greater good. It aligns with our vision for a Nigeria that thrives on efficiency, transparency, and responsible governance. Fuel subsidy removal is a step for cities like the city. It's also an initial challenge. But President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the administration and 25 metric tons of fertilizer, seedlings, and other inputs to Nigerian farmers. An increase and access to credit program for startups and MSMEs, providing 50 billion naira in conditional grants to 1 million nano businesses across Nigeria between now and March of 2024. And a new single-digit interest rate fund to provide 75 billion to support manufacturing enterprises, among many others. We have also launched a 3MTT program that aims to develop 3 million technical talents by 2025, in line with the President's vision of making Nigeria a global hub for digital jobs. Still in line with the jobs agenda, we have launched the National Talent Export Program, NATEPT, to create 1 million service export jobs over the next 5 years and make Nigeria a global business outsourcing hub. There is also the launch of the National Philanthropy Office, NPO. This office is established to mobilize $200 million in private investments on behalf of the federal government to support MSMEs in Nigeria. There is equally the launch of the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria partnership with Sterling Bank. This aims to establish a 5 billion naira single-digit interest fund. Of course, this will be made available for Nigerians that apply. By January of 2024, We'll be rolling out the new federal student loan program that was announced a few months ago. Already, preparation in that direction has reached advanced stage. Presidential approval for ASU to exit from the IPPRS, the Integrated Personnel Payment Platform, which will advance further university autonomy and also bring greater operational stability to the federal university system in Nigeria. The federal government is also working on a new minimum wage for workers, which will come into effect next year. This, of course, is part of the ongoing dialogue with the organized labor. Agriculture and food security. In a bid to ensure efficiency and tackle the increase in food prices in the country, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has declared a state of emergency on food security. This decision was in sync with the rechristening of the name of the Federal Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development to the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. The declaration of emergency on food security was a decisive move that reflects the administration's determination to address the pressing issue that directly affects the well-being of Nigerian citizens. It is also a strategic response to the challenges that have hindered the growth of our agricultural sector and, consequently, threatened our nation's food supply. President Tinubu, with foresight and determination, aims to fortify our food production system, ensuring that no citizen goes without this basic necessity. This measure signifies a call to action for comprehensive reforms, innovative strategies, and collaborative efforts among various stakeholders. President Tinubu is mobilizing resources and implementing policies that will not only address immediate concerns, but also establish a resilient and sustainable food ecosystem for our future. As part of the plans to boost food security in the country, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security flagged off the cultivation of dry season staple crops in Hadejia in Jigawa State. This project falls under the National Agricultural Growth Scheme, Agro Pocket, through the support of $134 million loan facility from the African Development Bank to expand the capacity of our farmers to engage in the cultivation of key staples like rice, maize, cassava, and wheat across Nigeria. These high-value staples will be joined by others like soybeans and sorghum in the wet season. The project, unveiled in Jigawa, plans to support between 150,000 to 250,000 wheat farmers with 50% input subsidy to cultivate between 200,000 and 250,000 hectares and an expected yield of about 1.2 million tons of wheat per annum. This project aims to increase crop yield by at least 20% compared to what is obtainable just last year. Similarly, the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has launched the National Potato Strategy 2023 to 2028 to usher in a new era of productive competitiveness in potato farming. There is currently a collaboration between the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security and the Federal Ministry of Water Resources to promote year-round farming practices, fostering sustainable agricultural development. The ministry also negotiated and signed memorandum of understanding with John Deere and Tata for production of 5,000 tractors annually in the next 5 years. Ease of doing business. The Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, otherwise known as PEBEC, has been reconstituted by the President, while the President has also signed executive orders that aim to reduce the tax burden on a number of key economic sectors. We are very clear about our commitment to ensuring that businesses across Nigeria are able to play on a field that is devoid of red tape and burdensome taxes. It is to this end that one of the first things that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu did was to establish the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform Committee to reform the tax system while also reducing tax burden on Nigerians. That committee has since started work and even presented an interim report to the President, while extensive consultation continue with the relevant stakeholders towards a more permanent one. Social investment and other humanitarian interventions that the President has also been leading. Number one, there is the launch of the federal government microcredit targeting 1.5 million traders, farmers, etc. in the first phase. Loans are in 3 categories and they're in 3 major languages. There is the Oja, what the Hausas call Talafin Sana'a, and what our brothers in the eastern part call Olilaya Ndi Nagbambo. I hope I got that correctly. There is also the Owage, meaning Talafin Manoma in Hausa, and in the eastern part, Olilaya Ndi Oru Ubo. There is also, from our Yoruba brothers and sisters, the Yaloja. The Hausas call it Agaji Yankaswa. And our brothers from the eastern part call it Niahia. Number 2, presidential approval for payment of cash transfer of 25,000, like I mentioned earlier, to the poorest and the most vulnerable households in Nigeria for 3 months has already kick-started. Now, there's a very important one also, number 3 here, that Nigerians need to really know about, and that is the Fulako initiative. This is an initiative that the federal government of Nigeria has put in place to build houses, clinics, schools, veterinary hospitals, empowerment initiatives, solar energy provision, and other infrastructure needs. It will be available in many areas that are hit by banditry and social unrest, the ones that are most hit. And the states are Zamfara, Kebbi, Katsina, Kaduna, Niger, and Benue states. I want to also say that government will also put that in place in Chudumbiri in Kaduna state, where the recent bomb mishap just occurred. Now, to the reform in the foreign exchange. Number 1, President Tinubu took a courageous step towards unifying the official and parallel markets exchange rates with the central bank, collapsing the multiple official foreign exchange rates, a move that was designed to streamline our financial system and promote a more resilient and investor-friendly environment. Number 2, the President recognized the importance of this move in fostering transparency, attracting foreign investments, and ultimately contributing to the overall economic development of our nation. It equally aims to create a more predictable and conducive environment for businesses and enhance the overall competitiveness of our economy on the global stage. Number 3, we understand that such economic transitions may come with challenges, but be rest assured that the Tinubu administration is taking proactive measures to ensure a smooth and inclusive process. Our goal ultimately is to build an economy that is robust, resilient, and capable of providing opportunities for all Nigerians. Number four, the Central Bank of Nigeria also commenced efforts to clear the billions of dollars in inherited foreign exchange backlog in order to further boost investor confidence in our economy. Under the Renewed Hope agenda, the Central Bank of Nigeria is determined to focus on its core mandate of price stability and financial system stability for the benefit of all Nigerians. Attraction to foreign direct investments, FDIs. Number one, over the last couple of months, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu proved himself as the chief salesman for Nigeria, crisscrossing the globe to boost Nigeria's image, foster international partnership, and attract the needed foreign direct investment to our dear country. The president carried out a series of international shuttles, as you are all aware, engaging with world leaders and leaders in business communities across the globe. These diplomatic missions demonstrate the president's commitment to position Nigeria as a prime destination for foreign investments. Number two, the president was in Paris for the summit on new global financing following the G20 summit in India, the United Nations General Assembly in New York, the Saudi Africa Summit in Riyadh, and the G20 Compact with Africa Conference in Berlin, Germany, and the Climate Change Summit in the UAE. Number three, the President's international engagement is not merely a diplomatic formality, but a deliberate pursuit to showcase the immense potential and opportunities that Nigeria holds. By establishing these connections, we aim to stimulate economic growth, create job opportunities, and enhance the overall prosperity of our citizens. Number four, the President seizes every opportunity to affirm his stature as the Chief Marketing Officer of Nigeria, consistently reiterating the message that Nigeria is open for business and investment, and that the federal government will do everything to guarantee the sanctity of all domestic and foreign investment. Number five, the international shuttles are yielding already very positive outcomes with key expressions of interest from various quarters to invest in key sectors of our economy. President Tinubu's engagements have not only highlighted our nation's potential, but have also demonstrated our commitment to being a responsible and collaborative player in the global community. Indeed, we have begun to see the tangible impact of this effort with well over $15 billion of pledges in foreign direct investment in the areas of energy, steel, defense, automotive, and other sectors. And of course, this is just the beginning. More of that on the way. Number six, the inflow of foreign direct investment is poised to contribute to infrastructure development, enhancing our petroleum refining capacity, technology transfer, and the overall advancement of key sectors, further solidifying Nigeria's position on the global economic stage. In addition to these pledges, investors are already taking action. For example, about a month ago, one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in Japan broke ground on a new multi-million-dollar manufacturing plant in Ogun State, the first such investment by the company on the entire African continent. Regional relationship. One, Nigeria currently stands as a beacon of stability and leadership within the economic community of West African states, ECOWAS, playing a pivotal role in regional affairs. Number two, under the leadership of President Tinubu, who is also the chairman of ECOWAS, Nigeria has consistently demonstrated its commitment to fostering regional cooperation, stability, economic development, and democracy within ECOWAS. Our country has been at the forefront of initiatives aimed at addressing shared challenges and promoting a collective vision for the West African sub-region. Number three, Nigeria is playing a very crucial role in mediating and resolving conflicts in the region, exemplified by our involvement in initiatives to address political crises and promote peace in countries such as Niger, Mali, Guinea, Burkina Faso, among others. Number four, Nigeria remains actively engaged in collaborative efforts to combat transnational threats such as terrorism, organized crime, etc., and the tracking of small arms and light weapons. Our commitment to regional security has been evident through contributions to ECOWAS and the multinational Joint Task Force to secure the country and our neighbors. Now, securing Nigeria. Number one, before I delve into that, let me once again express our sincere condolence to the families of the victims of the mistaken drone attack in Tudumbiri in Kaduna State. As you are already aware, the President has sent a high-powered delegation under the chairmanship of the Vice President, His Excellency Kashim Shettima, to commiserate with the families of the victims in Kaduna. This, of course, in addition to so many other steps that government is taking. Number two, investigations have been launched into the unfortunate incident in Tudumbiri, and the President has assured Nigeria and the international community that those involved will not go scot-free. You are aware that our country faces challenges of insecurity, particularly in the face of these threats. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has demonstrated the commitment to securing the life and property of every single Nigerian. Number three, recognizing the urgency of the situation, the President has also made the fight against insecurity a top priority of his administration, as contained in the Renewed Hope agenda. Comprehensive strategies, therefore, are being implemented to address the root causes of these issues and ensure a safer and a more secure Nigeria for all of us. Four, the President understands the multifaceted nature of the challenges of insecurity, and his commitment extends beyond the military interventions. It encompasses even non-kinetic approach. The goal, of course, is not only to quell immediate threats, but also to create an environment where citizens can live without fear and insecurity. Five, investments in the modernization and equipping of our security forces, intelligence agencies, and law enforcement are key components of this commitment. The Nigerian Air Force, a few months ago, took delivery of 4 brand new aircraft to strengthen the fight against banditry and terrorism. Number 6, President Tinubu is also working tirelessly to ensure that our security apparatus is well equipped, motivated, and strategically positioned to protect our nation from external and internal threats. 7, furthermore, efforts are underway to address the root causes of insecurity, including youth unemployment, poverty, and social inequality. This administration is dedicated to creating a sustainable solution that will not only take the symptoms, but also address the underlying factors that contribute to insecurity generally. Having said that, let me stress that our security agencies have been very busy to ensure the security and safety of all Nigerians and visitors into the country alike. Number 8, the lion's share of this year's supplementary budget of 2.17 trillion went to security, and a sizable portion of the 2024 budget will also go to security. This becomes necessary in order to acquire and deploy additional platforms recruit more security personnel, conduct training, among other initiatives. Number 9, from the reports we are getting from our security agencies around the country, it is evident that Nigeria is winning the war against terrorism, banditry, insurgency, and other forms of criminality. Of course, this is not to say that it is over yet. Government will continue to respond as necessary. Number 10, for instance, the Southeast region has been stabilized to a large extent with the degrading of the operational capacity of IPOB and the Eastern Security Network. You recall that the Nigerian Army recently launched an exercise called Exercise Golden Dawn 3 in the Southeast to support other security agencies in that region during and after the Yuletide period. The government will continue to intensify security operations to ensure that the entire region is peaceful and secure. Number 11, the northeast and the northwestern part of the country, the Nigerian Air Force has been very busy with several successful airstrikes on bandits and terrorist camps and hideouts in especially areas like Katsina, Zamfara, and Borno states. Number 12, in our maritime environment, on October 25 this year, the Eastern and Central Naval Commands flagged up a joint sea exercise codenamed Sea Guardian 2023. Number 13, let me use the opportunity to call for support to our armed forces who are working day and night to keep the country safe. The media is particularly employed to devote airtime and space and amplify coverage of their successes and their gains. Number 14, just like I mentioned at my maiden meeting with editors and other bureau chiefs here in Abuja, the bandits, terrorists, kidnappers, pirates, etc., are waging not only a physical battle, but also a psychological one, trying to undermine our faith and confidence in our security agencies. As media leaders and practitioners, therefore, we must be very careful not to play into their hands through operating or reporting what might be misleading or sensational, or that which undermines the morale of our security personnel. It is a duty that all of us need to undertake. Now, in the area of national orientation, as we look towards 2024, let me use this platform to announce that the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation will unveil a groundbreaking charter on citizens' court designed to define and uphold the core values that unite Nigerians while taking into account the nation's socio-cultural diversity. This is going to be championed by the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation through one of its key agencies, the National Orientation Agency. The charter will seek to entrench in all Nigerians a balanced understanding of their rights and responsibilities as citizens of this great nation. I have already assembled a committee of renowned experts to work on and finalize a value charter for Nigeria in line with President Tinubu's desire for true and sustained reorientation of our national values and attitudes. The new charter will be unveiled by the President early next year. Now, to our message of hope. As we stand at the threshold of a new year, I wish to extend a message of hope and optimism to fellow Nigerians. The President, of course, has initiated a number of reforms across various sectors of our economy and is already sowing the seeds of transformative change. As we enter 2024, we can anticipate the fruits of this effort beginning to blossom. These reforms are not miracles, but they are deliberate steps towards building a stronger and more prosperous Nigeria. As we look ahead, let us embrace the spirit of hope and resilience Change takes time, but every step that we take towards it is a testament to the progress we are all making as a nation. The journey towards a better Nigeria is a collective endeavor, and your support and optimism are invaluable at this transformative process. Let us move into 2024 with hope in our hearts, knowing that the reforms of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu are laying the foundation for a brighter and more prosperous future for our country. In order to cushion, and this is the big one that was unveiled only yesterday, in order to cushion the effect of the high cost of transportation fares, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and of course the federal government of Nigeria, is targeting to lift 5 million commuters during this ULETA season with 50% transportation rebate. In addition, all train services are free from today for all Nigerians traveling across this country where such services exist. Of course, this will run through from Thursday to date, December 21 to January 4, 2024. To reiterate, every person commuting to and fro the Christmas and New Year season is entitled to 50% rebate provided by the federal government as announced and or unveiled by the team, by the interministerial team that the president set up yesterday. Now, for your information, the participating road companies, of course, for the rail, it is Nigerian Railway Corporation that is fully doing that. For the transport system, there are 5 companies that are already operating this kind of business that government has engaged and are providing this service. The participating road transport companies for the 50% rebate are, number 1, we have the God is Good, GIG. Number 2, Chisco Transport. Number 3, The Young Shall Grow. Number 4, God Place Ezenwa. Number 5, Area Moto. Now, these are not new operators. These are operators that Nigerians already know and have been patronizing. Now, the aim of government is to ensure that only those who are experts in this area are allowed to operate within it. The president is very strict to ensure that Nigerians derive the benefits therefrom. Now, as the government has also promised in the area of petroleum resources, the Port Harcourt refinery, that the Dangote refinery has just today, the second delivery of 1 million barrels of crude from the NNPC. The target is to ensure that about 5 million tons of the product is made available so that Dangote refinery can be fully operationalized. The Warri and Kaduna refineries are also gearing up. Ladies and gentlemen and distinguished members of the press, so much good news is coming to Nigeria. And I know that the last couple of months have been very challenging. But with faith in our country and with the support that you are going to give to the Bola Tinubu administration, in addition to the support they are already giving, Nigeria shall be greater. My dear colleagues, I wish you all Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. 2024 is our year of manifestation. Thank you very much for listening. I thank you all.
Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Joel Baker said, "Vision without action is merely a dream. But when a vision is translated into action, the society changes for the better. The renewed hope agenda is actually working." Gentlemen of the media, information they say is power. Correct information brings clear thinking, and clear thinking helps people to make sound judgment. We have listened to the Honorable Minister. We have come to a very important segment of this press conference, the question and answer section. Like I said earlier, when you are recognized to speak, you tell us your name your media organization, please restrict your questions to the issues addressed by the Honorable Minister in his presentation. Please let us be decent in the use of language. We are going to take 3 questions. At this point, I would like to declare the floor open for your questions, please. 1, 2, none from this side. Okay, the first 3. Please take the microphone to them, please.
Honorable Minister, sir, members of the high table, my name is Lucky Isawode. I work for Channels Television. Now, the MBS released its report that youth unemployment has risen from 6.9% to 7.2%. And we are talking about creating employment opportunities for Nigerian youth. What is the government doing to address this? And the issue of this 35,000 being paid to workers. A lot of workers are complaining they have not received this money. It appears the money is on paper. So instead of a renewed hope, we are having renewed hardship where Naira right now is even scarce as it were during the days of Emefiele. So what is the government doing to address these hardships being faced by Nigerians? Thank you.
We'll take the second question, please.
Honorable Minister, sir, my name is Amadine Uyi. I'm with New Central Television. Now, my question is surrounding the free 50% transportation slash. I remember yesterday when Mr. Alaki gave that briefing yesterday, he talked about the government engaging with the NURTW to ensure that as many Nigerians that want to partake of that good gesture will be able to benefit from it. But now you have listed just 5 companies, and we know that there are thousands or tens of thousands of companies, and we know that those 5 transport companies do not even have enough vehicles to ferry 0.5% of those who want to benefit. Now my question is that list that you have listed, is it exhaustive, or government is still going to come up with more transporters who will partake in the scheme? And then are we still seeing further engagement with the NURTW, because we understand that this is the peak of traveling period where Nigerians from all over the country are traveling to their ancestral communities to spend the Utah season. Want to know if government is also going to engage to ensure that more Nigerians benefit from this palliative and support which government has given us as a gesture of goodwill. Thank you.
The third and the last, please.
Yeah, my name is Adelali. I write for the Punch. Our analysis of the supplementary budget indicated that the proposed amount for the wage award was slashed by 100 billion naira. So we'd like to find out why that was done. We analyzed the supplementary budget and discovered that the proposed amount for the wage award being paid to workers was slashed by 100 billion naira. Slashed, cut 100 billion naira, was, so we want to know why. Then secondly, regarding the transport, the subsidy that is ongoing, the transport subsidy, we'd like to know the cost. How much is it costing the federal government or Nigerians? Because we know that the government is going to pay back the 50%. Then finally, sir, the last week, the NNPC said that Nigeria should not expect a reduction in the price of fuel. And then many people are actually thinking that once the Port Harcourt refinery come on stream, that apart from the fact that fuel will be available, that the prices might also be cheaper based on, marketing forces and demand and things like that. So can you tell us, should Nigeria be hopeful, or should we be expecting higher fuel costs next year? Thank you.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Minister may wish to respond to all the questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Lucky from channels is quoting statistics of 6.9 to 7.2%. What is, and he's asking, what is government doing to, about this when we talk about reduction in unemployment? Now, the truth of the matter is that there are a number of efforts that I've enumerated that are aimed at bringing down unemployment in this country. Now, some of those statistics may just be temporary numbers and will now, be seen, the numbers will be seen to come down as much as, this, efforts of government that you see are now fully implemented. But what I can tell you is that so much is happening now. For example, the 3 million people that we are targeting in the digital space, also the number of people that are giving money. We know that we said this for a period of 3 months. We also know that there's other activities that other sectors of the economy are happening. So even when you see this 6.9 to 7.2% statistics coming, be hopeful that in the new year, by the time you see these statistics and new numbers are taken, we are hoping that they will certainly come down. Now you ask, what is government doing about naira scarcity? Government is aware that there is this cry by Nigerians about the scarcity of naira notes, and CBN is already working in that direction. New notes and more will be produced, and Nigerians will have more naira to spend. It is not a deliberate policy to stifle Nigerians or to take naira out of Nigerians like during the Emefiele days. That is not the case. It is a process perhaps that the CBN is undertaking that has created maybe that temporary shortfall, and we are hoping that as we go into the new year, we will see a more robust supply of the naira notes. Amadi from New Central talked about the 50% rebate and whether the National Union of Road Transport Workers and other unions are involved. Let me tell you, Amadi, that and others, that government didn't just sit down to arrive at these numbers. There have been a series of meetings and engagements by the Minister of Transportation and other ministers to look at what this is all about. First of all, government looked at what is the average cost of a traveler, for example, from Abuja to Onitsha, or Abuja to Lagos, or Abuja to Kano. And all that has been taken into consideration in the provision of those 50%. Now, you ask whether only 5 companies are involved. Of course, these processes are self-adjusting, but initially, these 5 very well-established companies have been contacted because they already have a track record of moving people from one part of the country to another. Government is not desirous of making this business as usual, where the moment government projects are announced, people now just come in to take advantage of it. The interest of government and the president is to ensure that only those who are involved in these businesses are patronized. And every arrangement that was done in collaboration. In fact, as we speak, the road transport workers are continuously engaging with the Minister of Transportation so that all the bottlenecks can be taken out. Now, you say whether the list is exhaustive. For now, those 5 companies are involved. As the program, goes underway, and there's a need to bring others, of course, government will do that. The desire is to cushion effect. The desire of government is not just to patronize a few people. These few people are people who have this track record, and that is why they have been contacted to be part of this. But if there are more people that have this capacity, they are being sorted, and there's a need to engage them, government will continue to do just that. The aim of this, of course, is to provide Nigerians with this succor. And remember, it is only for the period of Christmas and the New Year, after which, of course, this will be reversed. And for those traveling where the train services are, the NUTV is already doing that. Everywhere you go, if you go to the train station, provided you follow the due processes that are laid out, you just climb on the train and then disembark. Kaduna, Kano is already happening. Lagos, Ibadan is already happening. If you have reporters on those axes, they'll be able to tell you that this has already commenced today and will continue until the stipulated date. Now, the reporter from Punch first talked about the whether the 35,000 being given has stopped. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will live up to his expectation. Every penny that he has promised Nigerians will be delivered to Nigerians. Workers have been told that they will get 35,000 wage award. Sometimes the Ministry of Finance will have some operational bottlenecks that may delay, the disbursement of these funds. But they are actively working on it, and everybody that is a federal worker that is entitled to this will surely get this amount. And then there is the talk about the NNPC saying that prices will not come down. I listened to the group managing director of NNPC in his submission at the National Assembly, and what he aims to say is not that he is hoping and praying that prices of petroleum products will not come down. That's not what he was saying. What he was saying is that the essence of making Dangote refinery and making our refineries, operational is that there will be first availability of these products to Nigerians, and second, there will also be the need for foreign exchange that we spend importing this product that we can produce here is also conserved. And then there's also the issue of price stability. So he is not saying that price will never come down. What he's saying is that the sole purpose of undertaking that is not just because of price. It is also because of availability. It is also preserving our scarce foreign exchange. It is also to making sure that Nigerians also get back to jobs, those who are involved in that sector of the economy. That's what he was simply saying. I think that I've answered this largely. Thank you very much, members of the Nigerian press. For one more time, let me thank you for all the support that the media is giving to government. We have promised you over and over that as much as possible, information will be given to Nigerians as honestly, as transparently as it is possible. We also expect from you, members of the media, to please support government and have an open mind and support this government to ensure that only correct and accurate information is provided Nigerians. We have only this country and no any other. We hope that both government and the media will continue in its collaborative efforts so that we can have the prosperous Nigeria that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has promised us through his renewed hope agenda. I thank you for listening. Thank you for coming, and we'll continue to answer your questions beyond this point.
Gentlemen of the media, this is the much we can take for today. We want to thank you for your time. We have come to the end of this press conference. Thank you and God bless you. May we please rise as we take the national anthem, please. Thank you. God bless you all.
Thank you. There has been a press conference by the Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris. The title of the press conference